is, what does he need to show you when they play the Eagles in a preseason game on Saturday?
The consistency, continuing what he showed in week one, which was, kind of like, I don't want to say operational mastery, because I'm sure coaches will pick him apart and say, hey, look, there are some things he could have done better. I want to see him continue to push the ball down the field. I want to see I said, look, he needs to make one or two big wow plays. He did that. He had 2 touchdown throws week one. I want to see him on those plus 20-yard air yard throws really kind of dispel some of those myths out there that exist with this kid about the fact that he doesn't have an NFL caliber arm. I want to see him do that, and he'll earn more and more reps, and we'll keep talking about the fact that has he earned the number one job.
So people have said, Greeny, don't overreact to what you saw from Shedeur Sanders, and I laugh at that because I am a professional overreactor. That is what you do when you sit here for hours every single day. You can only react to what we've just seen. Peter, I'm overreacting. Shedeur Sanders showed us everything we imagined he might be, and then he wakes up Monday, number 4 on the depth chart. Explain that to me.
Greeny, I wanted to overreact too. I wanted it. He did everything you could possibly ask him to do. So you said, okay, we're throwing you out there without any first-team reps, and he was sublime. And yet, you talk to the Browns sources, they're like, slow down, guys. It was a preseason game, and we've got a lot of stuff to work on, and he's developmental. So I just speak from my sources that they weren't doing a parade through Cleveland after Friday night, even though we were. And I'm watching it, and you got Chris Rose on the call, and I'm excited hearing the excitement from the Browns broadcast. The Browns who are like, slow down. We have joint practice with the Eagles today. Dylan Gabriel might play Saturday. He's still 4th on the depth chart. So just the reality is it's not a meritocracy. For whatever we want to say that he played great in a preseason game, he hasn't elevated on the depth chart, and I don't think he's starting week one.
We're going to go live, by the way. Sal Palantonio is covering those joint practices for us, Cleveland and Philadelphia. He'll be live with us to give us some thoughts during this hour. What is your take on Shedeur right now?
I think it'd be a mistake if they do not give Shedeur Sanders first-team reps. I'm not saying you have to put him out there with the first team, but give him that opportunity to prove to everyone, especially the front office, Andrew Berry, the owner, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, that he can operate. And this tells me everything. When you have a player like Shedeur, who's walking into the locker room for his first preseason game, and you see one of his teammates that plays on the defensive side of the ball, coming in with a boom box, basically endorsing Shedeur Sanders, and you see him on the sidelines with Myles Garrett as well, that tells me everything I need to know, Lou.
How about the quote I believe that Myles Garrett said, something about the fact that, look, we're going to need you at some point this year.
Yes.
Something along those lines. I'm not quoting him, I'm saying something along those lines. Look, he has that it factor. Players recognize it quicker than anyone. Because a lot of times, look, players just want to play with the best guys. They just want to have the guys out there that are going to help them win. They don't have any agendas. And I'm not saying Cleveland has an agenda, so people, everybody just stay calm here. But he has earned the right to take more reps with the guys who are going to be on the field come Sundays.
I agree.
He has earned that. Maybe not spot number 1 on the depth chart, that's fine. That's cool. We still have more time. But he's earned the right to get more reps. I'm hoping they give it to him.
I don't understand. There's some piece of this that is not making sense to me. You know how anyone who's ever flown across country, it takes a lot longer to go one direction than it does the other. Because one way you have tailwinds, the other way you have headwinds. There seems to be some headwinds that are sort of slowing the roll on Shedeur in Cleveland. They seem to be internal. I don't understand it for the life of me. There is nothing better that can happen to an NFL franchise than to find a quarterback in the 5th round. That would be a massive win, and they, for some reason, seem hesitant to be looking for it.
Seems like it, and they're there every day. We're not. We saw it on a Friday against the Panthers, number 2s, and we go nuts, and it's a Friday preseason game. They're there every day. Trust me, they want the best opportunity to win. That's their jobs and their livelihoods on the line, too. And yet, when the depth chart came out on Monday, it's 4, not 1, 2, or 3.
Striggs, let me say this. So, from a receiver standpoint, you want to know what I love from my quarterback? A guy that's cool, calm, and collected in the pocket. I don't want a guy that's sporadic. I want a guy that has super confidence and knows he's that guy when he's calling the play, when he's analyzing the defense, and knows that he can make every single throw.
The draft,
That's what I love.
I said this on draft night. The draft spoke loud and clear what those headwinds, well, I shouldn't say what the headwinds are because we never, no one's actually going to really tell you exactly what they are. We can always kind of like sit here and dance around the periphery and try to like speculate as to why he lasted to the 5th round. But he lasted to the 5th round for a reason. And those reasons are those headwinds that you're talking about, and he's going to have to fight against them. That's the life of being a 5th, 6th, 7th rounder, a guy who's undrafted. And he's passing the test, and he's earning more time. Let's just see where ultimately this plays out.
So, am I overreacting?
No.
Darn right I'm overreacting. If he plays this weekend, what must Caleb Williams show us against the Bills?
He doesn't have to show us anything, but it would be nice to sparkle, one play where you're just like, wow, okay. Bears fans are a little nervous from the stuff we're hearing out of camp. I think if he plays, it would be great to see one wow throw, one wrinkle from Ben Johnson. As much as maybe they don't internally need to see it, we would like to see it.
So is it the flashy thing we need to see, or is it the basics we need to see?
I think we expect him to be flashy, but you're right. It's the basics. It's about the operational procedure. It's about getting in it. See, this sounds like football jargon all the time when we say operational procedure, play a clean game, don't turn the ball over, don't hurt your football team. That's what coaches live and die off of. That's what everyone wants to see about this guy. Go back to his pro day when I was out there at USC. Remember, he didn't have any outside the pocket throws. He didn't have any scramble throws. He wanted to operate solely from the pocket. Why? Because he said, point blank, this is what people think I can't do. And I think that right now is what he needs to prove that he can do. Just play a clean game.
So what's strong about that, operation, yes, it's very key and vital. But for Ben Johnson, if he does not play Caleb Williams in preseason game 2, I'm going to think maybe the operation and everything that comes with it isn't as clean in practice.
They're hiding it? They're not ready?
But here's the thing. Why would I put my quarterback out there? He's already going to be crucified and critiqued to the maximum. So if things aren't where I feel like they need to be as a head coach and a play caller, why would I put him out there for a bad showing?
Now that is the last thing the Chicago Bears fans want to see and or deduce from what you're talking about. Because if that's the case, you're sitting there going, oh boy, you won't put him out there?
Well, that
would be
scary
big,
part.
right?
And
If that were the
Monday
case,
night
right?
game of the season. It is in Chicago, and it is a matchup of two of these quarterbacks on that first Monday night. Caleb Williams for the Bears hosting that man, J.J. McCarthy, and the Vikings. So, Lewis, what must J.J. McCarthy show us against the Patriots on Saturday?
Absolutely nothing for me. Absolutely nothing.
You are signed, sealed, and delivered on McCarthy.
This has been a long time going. You know, we sat on the desk together when we talked about how Minnesota moved up to draft him. I think this kid has it all. I think he's got the mental makeup, he's got the personal makeup, he's got the physical skills, the arm strength, and I think he has got a grasp of this offense to the point where you saw it early in that first series, in the first preseason game. The dude is humming right now. He's feeling good. His lower body looks great. His mind space looks great. I just think they need to get him to the regular season and let him continue to ramp up with JJ and crew, that being Justin Jefferson. He's going to be just fine. They are going to be cruising this year.
Perhaps no player is walking into a situation with better weapons on the outside, better coaching staff, better running backs than this guy. However, I would also say there is some pressure on him this season. Would they go 14-3 last year and say we're better off without Sam Darnold? That's a statement. That is a statement saying we're putting the franchise on your shoulders and we're completely fine with it. I've heard a lot of he doesn't have to throw the ball 25 times. No, if you're moving on from a guy who led you 14-3 into the playoffs, I would like to see J.J. McCarthy throw the ball. I don't think he's got to do it in the preseason, but I do believe that Monday night game, they're not going to win if he just throws the ball 15 times and just hands the ball off.
So I will say this. They don't have to go 14-3 because it's hard to do that back-to-back seasons. But from a playoff perspective, they didn't win a playoff game last year.
Right.
They didn't win a playoff game the last time they were in the playoffs. So I do believe J.J. McCarthy has the makeup to allow them to have